Hello and welcome to Stampin' by Hannah. Today I have this lovely baby card for you, and it's got an interesting technique that goes along with it. So I thought I would show you how I made the background paper. So this one uses Soft Sky and Marina Mist, but for the card I'm going to do today, I'm going to do a girly version. So I've got Pink Pirouette and Rose Red. I've also got a piece of Pink Pirouette cardstock cut to form my card base and a piece of Whisper White. I've got the stamp set Zoo Babies, which is my favourite children's stamp set. I love it. I'm so pleased it's carrying over into the new catalogue. I've got the large polka dot embossing folder. I've got the hearts mask, and these come in a pack of two. There's a hearts one and the stars one that I've used on that card. And then you will also need a sponge dauber or a sponge, either, personal preference. This one I've used a sponge. I'm going to try with a sponge dauber today. So first of all, you take your piece of Whisper White cardstock and your large embossing folder. If you open your embossing folder up, there's two sides. I don't know how you're going to see this. This side has got raised dots and that side's got depressed dots. So we're going to put our embossing folder down on our grid paper, and we're going to ink up the side with the raised image. And I'm going to do this using Pink Pirouette. And just gentle taps all over, straight with the ink pad. And we're going to put our piece of Whisper White directly on the top and fold it over. I'm going to turn it over and rub all over it with a bone folder, just to encourage that ink that we've put on the embossing folder to transfer onto our cardstock. There we are. So we've now stamped with our embossing folder, and every time you do this technique you get a completely different look. It's just one of those quirky, I love it actually, I really like that. There is a Stampin' Up tutorial on this technique as well. I'll link to it in my blog post, and the link's in the down bar below. So now I'm going to take my hearts stencil and I'm going to pop it over the top of that Whisper White piece. I'm going to take some Rose Red and my sponge dauber, and we're going to just dab through the stencil you need to keep quite a tight hold of the stencil. It might be worth, if it's your first time using this technique, taping your stencil to your grid paper. And when we get down to the bottom, we're not going to do all the hearts because I think there's just too many. Just pick out some. And there we have our background. If you use a sponge dauber, you get more of a solid colour than with just a piece of sponge. This required quite a lot of effort to do this with a sponge, whereas it's much easier to use one of our sponge daubers. So next I've got my stamps already mounted onto my block. I've got the lion this time and a piece of Whisper White scrap cardstock, and I'm just going to stamp the lion in Rose Red and punch it out with the 1 3/8 of an inch circle punch. And I'm going to sponge the edges in Pink Pirouette. I've also got a strip of Whisper White and my congratulations stamp that I'm going to stamp in Rose Red as well. See if I, oh, it's not bad, that is it? That's quite straight actually. I'm almost impressed with myself. And I'm just going to leave a long tail on that end and snip this side into a little banner. And then we're ready to put our card together. So we're going to mount this onto our card base, just with some snail. And a dimensional on the back of our lion. And a bit of snail on the back of our sentiment. We'll slot that in underneath there. And there we have, dropping my snail on the floor, 2 cards for baby using Stampin' with Embossing folders and the Zoo Baby stamp set from Stampin' Up. If you want to purchase any of the items I've used in this video, go and follow the link in the down bar below to my blog, and all the links to all the products I've used are there. And go over and like my Facebook page. The link is also in the down bar below. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.